Okay. And it acts as a segue to our discussion today on Uongozi Today, right? That is a segment that we call it Uongozi Today. If we may just have it back so that we can linger with the cartoon a bit and introduce my guests as well. And we have the tattooist there that you can see, which is depicted as Right Honorable Raila Odinga. And we do have as well the Bani, right, who is quick off the mark and is running the race faster and faster, right? We have the thumbs up there from the President Uhuru Kenyatta. And you've heard, of course, his statement. It's not how the rest is not for the swift nor for the strong, right? But chance happens, time and chance happens to all of them. Hello, good morning. Allow me to introduce to you our panelists this morning. We have with us Dr. Tim Kiruhi, who is the Vice Chancellor of International Leadership University. Also, we do have with us Patricia Murugami. She is a global leadership catalyst and the founder and the chief executive officer of Breakthrough Leadership Transformation. She is also an ITC. She trains global consultants specializing in crisis management, leadership, resilience, and new normal strategies. Also, she's a published author, an award-winning speaker, transformational coach, and leadership educator. She holds a doctorate in business administration, transformational leadership, and governance from International School of Management in Paris. And we do have with us as well Professor Dominic Mwenja. Dominic Mwenja is the chairman of Miramart International Foundation, former CEO of Mater Hospital, and also is a chairman of Central Bank Pension Fund. And today he will be talking to us about Uongozi Bora, right? What does it take to have a good leader? We've had those conversations from our leaders that, yeah, we should concentrate on the young people right now who can spur the economy, while we're still having the old goods, you know, being regurgitated and recycled every year, year in, year out, or every other election cycle that comes to bear. So the preoccupation is, does experience really matter? Or that feisty charisma of a young man or a young woman also really matters when it comes to leadership? But let me have the cartoon so that I can actually get their turn of thoughts on this to just begin the conversation. And also you can follow us on Twitter. Hit us on our Twitter handle, which is KTN News, at KTN News KE. Also, you can use the hashtag Morning Prime. And you can follow and also hit me at Dibala Air. Let me just begin with you, Professor Dominic Mwenja, looking at this editorial cartoon. We've had that particular debate. So it seems it's the young against the old. Right. Ruto has bolted. He is the bunny. But it seems, according to Uhuru Kenyatta, it is not him who's going to win this race. Right? It's not for the fast, the swift, and the strong, but chance and time also matters. Professor.
Thank you, Dibal, and good morning, Kenyans. When I was looking at that cartoon, actually, I listened to the president when he mentioned the issue of running fast and the marathon, and I think the context within which the president was trying to discuss on leadership is about steady, consistent behavior of a leader. No, but now within the political context that we have it now, it has turned out to be a race between the young and the old. If you listen to Musalia, he's talking about this is not about the young people. You see, everybody is trying to please the youth of this country because that's where the majority of the voters are. So anything anybody else says will be taken in that context. And what the president was trying to say is, in my judgment, is as you look at leaders, look at the consistency in the leader behavior. Look at the consistency in how a leader makes decisions. Look at the consistency of the steady paces that a leader makes from point A to point B. And as we challenge our Kenyans and we tell them, look, when you're looking for leadership, look for certain behaviors of a leader. Don't go out there. I think we had this conversation, I believe, last year or the year before last year, where we're saying we are electing comedians and fraudsters into offices of responsibility, either MPs or governors or even presidential candidates, based not on how we judge them as leaders, based on their integrity, based on their honesty, on the confidence that they have, based on their strategic thinking, the compassion, all those things that we say about leaders, but based on the emotional outbursts that we usually have and associate with specific people. So that leader who makes our people laugh and all that, we tend to gravitate towards that person without necessarily looking at the quality of that leader himself or herself.
Right. Let me just cross over also to Dr. Tim to just also hear his turn of thought on that particular editorial cartoon. Dr. good morning, good to see you.
Well, it's good to be here, and good morning, Kenyans. Maybe just my quick thoughts. I would definitely agree with a lot of what Professor Mwanja has said. But I think there is also the need to underscore, of course, the need for what one has achieved in the past. Leadership at the highest levels is, of course, more challenging. It demands a lot more of both mental, physical, social energy, and connections. So certainly the track record of the leader is important, because that's really part of what we are going to be using as a barometer to assess whether the leader is fit for office and whether they are the right person even for this time, because it's not even just a question of whether the leader is a good leader. Usually you need cycles of even balancing between leadership and management as well. If the previous leader has been a very good manager, maybe the next person needs to be a visionary who takes us to the next level. But then maybe that needs to be steadied at the next level now by a good manager who really helps us to achieve the most out of that, the vision and so on, because many times that will not have been actualized. So these factors are important, and I think as we get into the discussion, we'll be talking a lot more about just some of the values and principles that we can use, especially as we think of the coming general election.
Right. All right, Dr. Patricia, also good to see you. It's been so many years since we had a conversation on leadership with you as well. But thank you for joining us nonetheless. What will be your take?
No, thank you so much, Dabal, and good morning to the globe. Because this being a global session, it means that we can actually influence how people think, not only within Kenya. I think there are two things both Professor and Dr. Tim have talked about, and I want to buttress and add on one aspect that we need to ask ourselves: what is the intention of a leader? And I think the idea of intention is very connected to where they've spent their time, their energy, their resources, where they spent their effort, personally and professionally. So to check intention. And then the second thing we ought to consider is, where is the source of their power? Yeah? When we think about power, many times we think about hierarchical power, which means the power that comes with a title. Or we think about wealth power, which is the power that comes with having things. We think about experience power, which is the ability to have done certain things over a period of time. But I want to encourage us to think about character power. And I know from experience, having studied a lot of leaders, coached many leaders, that character power is the one that stays with you stripped of your title. And that is the one that has to do with being anchored on service and the ability to raise people to become their next best selves. So check intention and check the source of power.
Check intention and check the source of power as well. Right. Thank you for those introductory remarks. We just want to take a short break right now. When we get back now, we will gravitate deeper into that particular conversation on what really makes a good leader, especially as we are heading towards the general election. Don't go away.